in regards to the pandemic, so I want to talk about a couple of things there. I mean, certainly we'll get into the industry piece. April, May, June, depending on what you look at, surgical med device is down, 80%. So obviously impact, those surgeries aren't getting done. Before we get into the industry piece of it, I want to know what your perspective of the pandemic is. I mean, I was down in your office, you've got the pirate flags, the energy's awesome. You've got a great team, great group of people anyway, but the energy's great. You'd be in your office, you wouldn't even know there's a pandemic going on. So I'd like for you to speak to that a little bit and about personally how you look at it and how you deal with it.
Yeah, so look, I think the pandemic reveals cultures, the strengths of cultures and the gaps in cultures. So one of the things I'm proud of with our organization is we want to acknowledge there's a pandemic. We want to acknowledge the massive loss of life, as well as the lives that have been compromised, that, people who have survived this COVID situation. And they had no choices for the most part, without being judgmental. What you do have a choice is how you process the scenario you're in. Those who follow me will know that you always have a choice in life. You either can go fetal and wait for things to be over and wait for things to happen to you, or you can drive it forward. You can look at the devil across the cage from you. That cage door closes, and you can make a choice how you're going to go after that sort of devil, right? And we usually make the own devil in our head. Too many people are setting up a scenario of less than optimal outcomes and then managing their behaviors backwards from there. We've doubled down on all of our businesses. We've hired people. You've been here, Darwin. We have already started growing out other aspects of our business. We've had 36 people hired via Zoom over the last 4 months with clients out of the 66 new careers we've launched. So it's always a decision you make, whether it's a death in your family, whether it's a COVID virus, whether it's a bankruptcy, a divorce, you make choices. And, that's how we decided. Our organization was always built on that foxhole mentality of who you let in your foxhole will decide what's going to happen to you. And our organization is just, and other organizations have demonstrated what and who they're made of and what they stand for in this environment. And I think there's lessons to be learned. You can look at certain organizations and see what they've done. And you can take cues from that and continue to, the good news is you can always make adjustments. So if you were not wired that way, you can make a decision to be wired that way and appropriately behave that way.
That's awesome. I mean, and I think your philosophy, certainly it resonates with me. You make a point, right? There's certain things, there's people that have been affected financially, health-wise. I started putting out something that I call Pandemic Perspective. And we'll have another one that goes out Friday. And, same thing, right? Certainly no judgment or offense to anybody that has been affected. There's been a lot of people have been affected. But the idea of proactivity, the idea of making decisions based on your values, those determine your actions, and you can control those things, and focusing on the positive, because I think you're the same way in terms of the glass is half full, and let's figure out how to put some more water in it. Let's figure out how to bring people value, and so I think that's just fantastic.